Well, I was driving towards the border and I kept getting phone calls, so I couldn't do my opening. So I did everything else in between. Harry's barn, Jason. I did the 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds, and then I wanted to do my opening. So I'm on my way, just crossed the border. There's no cell service for about 2 minutes after the border. I said, you know what, now's the time to do my opening for this week. Man, it's just been such a busy season, such a busy week. I have to go back in and look at all the trainers, how they did look for highlights of the week. I'm not always I'm gonna miss some horses. You guys see what's going on, right? You guys know the score. And this week, obviously, the last 24 hours, Amy and I have just been double and triple checking the catalogs just to see what we're looking at. And people don't realize how good an eye my wife has also. Looking at the sales catalog with her, I have my picks, she has hers, then we compare notes. It's a process, and I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's something I enjoy. This is my favorite time of the year. I say that a lot because I love my job, but when it comes to the sales, this is it, right? This is what makes up 2023. What we do over the next 2 months will likely, for the most part, all things being equal, which they're not, but all things being equal, the next 2 months will shape what the rest of the next year looks like, right? What 2023 will look like from June till December, for the most part. So, a big week ahead of us, especially since Ohio was the first, aside from Ontario, was the first real jurisdiction to put us on the map, and one that we pay very close attention to every single year. I told you guys the lots would be sold out before sale day, and they will be sold out before sale day. Now, there will be, I forgot for a little bit until a couple of people politely reminded me that what we had done last year was there were shares held back after the sale was over. Anybody that had bought lots, wanted extra shares, they were available. We're going to do that again this year. Now, little food for thought. Those numbers you see left on the sale site right now, those do not reflect those shares. So there's probably going to be at least another 25 shares disappearing tomorrow morning, lots disappearing tomorrow morning. And there will be shares available for people, but again, for those of you, and I get it, there's some people that say, Anthony, I want to pick my horses. I want to be the one to pick. Well, go ahead and pick. But you're going to have to pick them from the ones that I pick. That's kind of the way it is. So if there are clients out there that want to wait, you're welcome to do that. But there's no guarantee they're going to be there. There should be. There likely will be. But there is no guarantee. If I look at any one of my top, and I have 13 or 14 horses that I am very, very interested in this sale. And if we buy any number of those horses for less than what I believe they're worth, I can only imagine the people that bought into those lots are going to be very interested in them also. I am going to do a video talking about why I like the horses, what I like in the horses, which horses I particularly like heading into Friday. So that number will guaranteed be at 0 in the next, Sunday, the next 96 hours for sure, at the very latest. That number will get to 0. I suspect it'll be really close to 0 tomorrow afternoon, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm just, as I started the video, I'm just so proud looking at what has taken place and how fortunate we've been. When you look at Kings County, I don't want to talk about money. We never talk about the money the horses make, and I don't care to. You guys know it. You have programs. You can look it up. He's made a lot, right? He's done so good for us. He's probably, truthfully speaking, the best horse in Ohio. He's likely the best trotter in Ohio right now, full time. He was beat by 2 Grand Circuit trotters yesterday. Quattro de Julio and Raised by the Masses, or Loved by the Masses, what the hell his name is. 2 very, very good horses. Per Lucky, 52-3 last night. Sintra wins the Gold Cup and Saucer. Locatelli, White Tiger. I'm missing it. I'm not even talking about the stake horses. I'll talk about them in a second. Just so proud of what has taken place this year. Every I say this sometimes, and the trainers understand it. People in the game understand it. Everybody wants an opportunity to prove they can do it. Everybody wants an opportunity to prove, if I have a good horse, I can race against anybody. But rarely they get a chance to, right? Not very often that little guy gets a good horse to race a good horse to prove he or she can hang with the big trainers. And we're getting a chance to do that. We're doing rather well at it. For the most part, we dominated in Pennsylvania. The 2-year-old trotting colt division, we won the Stallion Series final, right? Crushed them with Austral Hanover. We won the consolation with Carter Michael Dio, and we were half a length, maybe a length and a quarter from winning the final. We almost swept the entire 2-year-old colt division. Now, we didn't do it across the board, but we did do it in the 2-year-old trot colt division. We had a tremendous year in Pennsylvania. And I know a lot of people look at swinging Senorita and say, well, the other fillies don't match up. It's not really easy to match up to a trotting filly that made $150,000, winning 56, trotting 56 flat on a 5/8 tracker last quarter in 28 seconds flat. Not many can match up to that at all. Coupe de Ville trotted in 58 on a half the other night. She looked awesome. Very, very good. Smoking Hot Irish Girl, I think we might have got to the bottom of at least a portion of what was bothering her. We'll see. That should come to fruition over the next week or 2 or 3 weeks. We still have Sweet on Pete, Purple Laura, Slim Jimmy. Just very, very proud of what has taken place. And I'm sure you are too. You know, Pennsylvania's over. Ontario's winding down. Ohio's winding down. Yet we just saw 3 horses race the other night in New Jersey that are just starting to get good. And this is the waves we were talking about, right? You know, it was so awesome. I told this story in another video, but I got to tell it again. So, Brace for Landing raced great the other night. Got beat fair and square. These are really dark. Got beat fair and square, but we're going onto the wire. And being a smart ass, I figured it was worth the gamble. I looked at Yannick Gingras going onto the wire, and I said, hey, I know him real well. I said, hey, nice fourth. Because we were for third. It was a photo, and he goes, no. I was third. You, nice fourth. I said, I don't think so, but he said, oh, I know so. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we just put a little friendly wager on it? I'll bet. Since you're certain and you drive here full time at the Meadowlands, I'm going to put my $5 up against your $10 that I was third. He goes, fine. He said, I'll bet you 100. I said, no, you overplayed your hand. Now, you could have got me for that 10 seconds ago, but for now, we're gonna bet the 5 against the 10. He goes, absolutely. So I'm watching, right? I helped take the bike off, so I'm down the paddock, and I see Yannick watching. I see him walk away, look up. I beat him at the wire. So I see him, I said, hey, and he heard me. He turns around, his face is red. I said, you do this for a living, right? It was awesome. So Yannick, he's a great guy, and I wasn't sure. When he said it, when he was that sure, I was maybe a little more sure that he was right, but still, nevertheless. Brace for Landing race fantastic, though. You know, the horse never stopped trotting. He trotted as hard as he could right through the wire. I think he's going to get better and better and better. It was funny, one of our clients was there the other night, and I said, you know, you hear about me talking about the physical immaturity of Brace for Landing. And it was Elliot, first time I ever met him, very nice man. I think he had his grandson with him. I said, okay, look at that horse, number 7. Look at that horse, number 5. Now look at Brace for Landing. You can tell he just looks like this kid. Just this lanky kid. He said, that is what I'm talking about. These guys are way ahead of this horse physically. And it was funny because Jimmy Tactor watched him warm up. I come off the track, he's watching me. He said, horse look good. I said, yeah, he's coming. And then he watched him race. He said, horse race good. He said, you know, he just physically, I said, 100%. And his daughter, Nancy, had said that at the sale. When I was getting all the paperwork for the horses. She said, I liked him a lot, but he's physically just a little immature, right? I said, yeah, you know, he is, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers type thing, and I want a world-class horse. This horse, really, I love him. Just the way he looks, she goes, oh, he's just a nice horse. And they were both right. He's only starting to get good. Now, the way he raced the other day, he's going to race in the final. Tim Tetrick is going to drive in the final. And then he's going to go to Kentucky. In Kentucky, you're probably going to see us take a lot of the weight off the colt. Let us hobbles out. I'd like to see him race in Kentucky. I think that would be a breakout for him. Because even horses like him that have that talent, I think they get to a point where even they surprise themselves how fast they actually are. How good they actually are. And he's just scratching the surface. A horse like Landing Strip, he's just like a little bulldog. You know, you got to get at him, you got to work him. But he'll keep coming. You know, he'll keep coming. That horse beside him, he fought him off. The guy on the outside got him, fair and square. But he's still learning. He knew that he had to beat the one beside him. That horse never got by him. And not only did he not get by him, but he drove back away from him. It's a fighter. Not shocking. Both very well-bred horses. One is out of a world champion mare in Solveig, and the other one is a brother to Pinkman, another world champion. So not that shocking, but we're seeing those pedigrees start to bubble up, starting to come forward. And then Tactical Mounts, mark my words, of the horses we have racing next week, Tactical Mounts got a real shot to see, you know, for a filly that hadn't been there. Hadn't showed 55, coming off a break, coming in off 10 days, 12 days, something like that. For her to go out and race like that, she didn't see that horse coming until it was too late. But she made sure she put away the two that were beside her. Again, tough. But these are the horses, again, I've said this all year long. Go back and look at our videos from March, April, May. These horses are going to be a little longer. They're just not physically mature. Not mentally mature, some of them. Speed is there. It's just going to have to take some time, and it did. Here we are, first part of September, and Tactical Mounts is going to be very tough to beat in that final. Very tough to beat. And no joke, the horse that beat us was a $300,000 yearling. I thought it was so interesting. If you have a program at home, you need to look at the program, or you can take your time and look at them individually. The horses that raced against Tactical Mounts the other night in that stake race were a combined purchase price of just under 1.6 million US. So there. Man, she was good. Anyway, super proud of what we've been able to accomplish this year. Both myself, the horses, you, us as a group, our caretakers, our trainers, of course the horses. But just so proud of what 2022 has already looked like, heading into the latter stages of it. As I said, Kings County, just very, very lucky to have this horse. He's such a nice horse. Per Lucky looked great yesterday. You know, you look home, we talk about how the year Nothing But a Dreamer's had, Swinging Señorita's had. All those horses in Pennsylvania. You know, almost sweeping the entire side of the trotting colts in Pennsylvania. Even horses like Marshall Zukov, Old Czech, horses that did well in the Prospect Series. But that Prospect Series is built for horses that you can help them become the grassroots, the gold horses, hopefully, of 2023. And it's interesting to see how the horses change, right? We talk about Austral Hanover. We talk about horses like Austral Gandalf. Horses that actually turned into nice horses. Then you look at a horse like Marshall Zukov, made breaks, really didn't train down that well. But as he's growing into himself, that Prospect Series has given him a chance to get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And then wins in 54-2 at Kawartha. It's a big mile for a 2-year-old pacing colt. We were very fortunate with the sires we backed last year. International Money, one in particular. Carter Michael Dio, Austral Hanover, Crantini, Spitfire Overseas. Incredible horses. Tactical Landing, the story with Una. May not be as glamorous for the buyers just yet, but was certainly quite a storyline for the stable this year. And the horses the other night, Tactical Mounts, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Brace for Landing. Landing Strip were both awesome the other night. You know, we're heading into the season where Kentucky is a question mark for some horses. I would have said no to almost everybody to Kentucky, but I would love to see Race for Landing head to Kentucky. I don't know about Landing Strip. He's a smaller horse on a giant track. Is that going to benefit him? Maybe. I don't know. Race for Landing, for sure it will. It might actually shake him up. That might be, you know, the turning point in his career as a 2-year-old. So that's a possibility. We would have taken Crantini to Kentucky, but he's going to be busy racing for $1 million on the 24th. Champlain next Thursday, with Nothing But a Dreamer and Carter Michael Deal. And we keep talking about the horses that have just been so good for us and how lucky we've been. And it all starts again. It all starts again with the sales starting this Friday. I'm going to have a little sale video talking about, I don't want to talk about specifics when it comes to the horses, but how many horses we're interested in. I've already gone through the entire Kentucky catalog. The entire Kentucky catalog. Now, my short list for Kentucky is excessive. It's large. I haven't gone through that second wave yet with my wife. We'll do that this week after the Ohio sale. So I guess starting Saturday, Sunday, we'll have some time. We might go over, and again, we have 2 weeks after that. We might go over that sale again. But everything counts. Well, none of the numbers matter until you see the horse. Show me the horse, then we'll talk about what that particular animal, filly, colt, whatever, is worth to us, to me, in my eyes. But for right now, we are prepared for Ohio and Lexington 100%. I know I have Danny looking at horses for the Ontario sale, so that worked out good also. You know, it'll give us an opportunity to look at the list. And before all of that, Goshen is tomorrow. We've already bought 3 horses. You don't know about one of them. But we bought 2 horses at the Illinois sale. 2 class-included fillies that are both being broke by Jim Eaton. Reason being, there was no need for them to be in Ohio right now with me running around and everything being such a rat race trying to find people to fill positions in Ohio. There was no need for them to be here. They can join the rest of the company over the next 10 days, 2 weeks. We have Goshen on Monday. As I said, we're looking at 5 or 6 horses at Goshen. A number of people asking what our picks are. I don't think we have any New York horses on our radar for Goshen. If we're going to buy New York horses, they'll likely be a Chapter 7, right? Something in the top end range. I don't think we're going to buy a Devious Man or something like that. Nothing against them. We're just not going to. And you know the reason why. I don't have to tell you. Because New York makes it very cumbersome for our clients to get involved, so the vast majority don't want to. And for those of you out there that might be in New York or disagree with that, or breeders in New York that are hearing this, let me be as clear as I can. We bought a horse last week, an aged horse, good as him, nice trotter. I left with Mark Beckwith. He entered him in to go in Saratoga, and within 24 hours, 11 people had sold their shares of Good As Him. Hadn't even raced him yet. Just sold it at cost because they did not want to be involved in New York. So that says a lot about the state right there. That's the only state. New Jersey's a little cumbersome, but usually if we go to New Jersey, it's Tactical Mountains, Brace for Landing. So it's not technically the same, but people just don't want to be involved. And that's sad. That's sad. But it is what it is. So when it comes to New York, I'm not saying we won't be involved, but it'll likely be a Chapter 7 or 2. From Lexington or Harrisburg. We'll see how that plays out. So Goshen for us will reside mostly in, I think there's some PA breds, and I think even an Ontario bred or 2 in there. But for the 6 horses, we're looking at potentially purchasing any number of them, if any of them. They're, I think, Pennsylvania and Ontario. Then we have Ohio on Friday. That should be a lot of fun. And then after Ohio Friday, things change, right? Kentucky is a whole other animal in itself. Almost 1,000 horses selling in Kentucky over 5 days. Different variations of the horses. The money that we have put together for that sale is immense also. It eclipsed and almost dwarfs what we had last year. So that doesn't mean we're going to spend more on a horse, or it's not going to matter. It's not going to mean that we buy more horses. but it gives me the availability and the opportunity to look at the quality of the horses we're purchasing. So rather than going out there looking for a $30,000 horse that we can buy for $20,000, maybe we're looking for a $50,000 horse that we can buy for $30,000. The value still has to be there. It's all going to be value-based. That will never change. But what we're looking at, what the program pages, the catalog pages look like, the horses themselves, I guess our overall appetite has changed a little bit. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think we proved that this year, and hopefully we can bring it in next year. We're not always going to be right, but we were right a few times with a few horses this year that really look like they're going to pay off. So that's where we're at. Really starting to shift and focus into sale mode. As I said, we were up late last night, Amy and I. We double-checked and triple-checked Ohio. We have our what I would call heading into the sale. As hard as a list can be heading into the Ohio sale, that's what we have right now. We're prepared for Ohio. Lexington, we both have gone over the sale catalog, the entirety of it. We had a number of you, and thank you all for the emails. A number of you had sent me emails saying, Anthony, what about hip number this, or what about hip number that, or what about this, what about that? Thank you all for those emails. They're super helpful. And quite frankly, sometimes I'll look at the horse and say, I didn't like that horse when I looked at it the first time, but looking at the video, yeah, that horse looks okay. Because think of it this way, when you have so many horses, it's so easy just to turn the page. Right? It's so easy to say, nope, nope, nope. When you look at the horse closely and say, well, John, Tim, Harry, Sally, Lisa said they like hip number 284, whatever. You look at it and you're like, yeah, that horse looks okay. And then you look at the video and you're like, oh, yeah, I don't mind that horse actually. Whereas before it might have just been, an ordinary horse, right? You got to be careful. That's why it's so important to go over and over again and having all that information from our clients say, what do you think of this horse? What do you think of that horse? If you've sent me an email and I haven't got back to you, I truly apologize. But please understand, you are one of maybe 100 people that have sent us emails this week pertaining to the sales that are coming up. I want to get back to you. And if I don't, resend the email or just say, hey, I never got a response. Maybe, I get that on. I know you're busy, which just makes me feel bad. But I will get back to you. And I will reiterate again, we're trying to get the patio at Mohawk for the 24th. We're trying to get people out to the racetrack. But most importantly, as of this time of year, I'd like to see as many of you in Lexington as you want. Feel free. Please don't think that you're a burden at Lexington. You can follow us around. We can talk about the horses we like, why we like them, who we like, and then watch the entire thing unfold in front of your eyes. And if you can't make it out, we have a super special surprise for everybody this year in a show that Curtis, I've been trying to do it for 3 or 4 years, and Curtis is always the visionary behind a lot of the artistic stuff. Both him and Kelly are the ones that take care of a lot of this. We're going to do a show this year from Lexington talking about our horses, the ones we bought, the ones we're looking at, things that are going on. We're going to have interviews with trainers, consigners, breeders. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be real cool. The most interesting and cool part of the year is upon us now. It's stressful to get them there. It's stressful to race them. But now that has come to fruition, now that has taken shape for the most part, it's on to the next stage. It's on to the next year. And this is day one. This is the coolest part of our job coming up. So be a part of it with us, whether it be online with the show we're doing or whether it be in person at Lexington. It should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun, because I'm going to tell you one thing. It's been, in horse racing, I don't think I've ever had a more productive year. I've won more races, I've won more money, but I don't think I've ever had a more productive year than I have personally as a human being this year. The stable has been strong to the point where everybody knows what we're doing, who we are, and that is really gratifying. But again, none of that takes place without you. So it all starts again very soon. This Friday in Ohio is our first big sale of the year. Take care, everybody. Talk to you soon. Keep the emails coming. Have a great day.